Hello, I'm Kelsey Creveling, founder of the Consultants Counsel, and today I want us to talk about how to do due diligence when preparing for potential client conversations, when preparing to go through interviews, and to meet new people. So inevitably, over the course of your career, there'll be many times when you need to be appropriately prepared for different interactions. And making sure that you've done enough due diligence to be comfortable and confident walking into those situations really will make a huge difference in how well prepared you are and how well you interact with others. So first up, the internet is your friend. It has a wealth of information and is a great place to get started taking a look at who it is that you need to be researching. So if you're researching an organization, the first thing I like to do is search for them on your search engine. Take a look at the organization's website, review all the different kind of components and considerations around it. I go to the About page, I look to see when the organization was founded, I look to see the leadership team of the organization, I look to see what the organization's kind of founding values are, mission statement, the type of clients that they work with, what services they render or products that they sell. I really try to get a good sense of from their online presence as well as how much attention do they pay to marketing? Do they pay to their public persona? All of those kind of data points are things that are going to inform your composition and knowledge of that organization. So, if they're very polished and professional, that's really wonderful to know. Or if maybe, social media or their website presence doesn't factor into their strategy as much, that's helpful to know too. Really helpful to know, do they have an executive board of directors? Do they have a small leadership team, a large leadership team? How long have they been in business? Are they a for-profit, not-for-profit business? What and how do they gather and gain their revenue? There's a ton of information that you can gather first and foremost from their website. So, it's out there for a reason. Make sure that you've looked at it. If you go into conversations with a prospective client and you haven't done your due diligence to take a look at the information that they publicly make available and share, then you're not appropriately prepared. So make sure that you fully understand and are familiar with their website. Next up, I take a look at news articles. So for the organization's name, I'll search in the news and I'll go through and see what are the recent headlines for the organization, how have they been referenced, what's the public perception of the organization, is there any negative press out there on them, or positive spotlight items where they've been featured, or different cool things or collaborations that they're working on or have in progress. That also helps to inform their market positioning and things that might be relevant for you to be aware of, depending upon the type of interaction you're looking to have with them. All right, and then next up, I take a look at the actual leadership team and I'll research the individuals. So, on the About page of the website, they might have quick bios of those different individuals, but then I'll certainly go look them up on LinkedIn. I'll do a quick search engine search for them as well to do the same type of steps that I would do on the company, but for those individuals. Where are they referenced in the news? Where might they have different publications? And what information do they put out publicly on their LinkedIn profiles that is helpful to know? When I also take a look at LinkedIn profiles, I certainly look at who they also might know to see if there's any commonalities there or if there's any shared connections. Not that you're gonna reach out to the shared connections, but if you find out that someone that you're doing due diligence on has a shared connection with you that's a really close contact, that sometimes can be a good stepping stone of reaching out to your close contact to say, hey, I'm potentially gonna be interacting with this person. Is that someone that you have familiarity with? Anything you can share, any information that you can provide. Obviously, judge the circumstances and the situation. You never want to be invasive with your questioning or with your due diligence. You just want to be respectful and make sure that you're creating an informed awareness of the companies and the people that you're going to be interacting with. All right, so in that vein, while the internet is very helpful, there's lots of information out there that you can glean. I would certainly advise that you keep your due diligence to what is commercially or publicly available that the person or the company has chosen to put out there. That means, taking a look at their website, taking a look at their LinkedIn, taking a look at if they individually, have their own website. That does not mean going and checking voter records or property records or things like that. That starts to become very intrusive, and I would certainly recommend that you steer clear of that level of due diligence in the professional work world. So when I'm building out a company or an individual kind of profile on people I'm going to be interacting with, I keep my searching to about like 10 to 15 minutes, or if I'm building out something on a broader scale, like with an entire company and an organization, I'll keep it like an hour or less. But what I'm really looking at is what are the key things that are going to inform how I interact with that organization, what is most important to them as an organization or to an individual, that I can find commonalities with, that I can connect with them on, so that there is shared value, shared interests, and I can make sure that I'm tailoring and catering my approach to what might really resonate best with them. Doing due diligence and preparing appropriately for your interactions, while it might seem like a simple component to add to your preparatory work, it's actually something that I think people don't necessarily do enough of. They don't come to the table appropriately prepared for interactions, and as a result, they aren't able to connect as well with their prospective clients and with those that they might be working with. And so I really hope that this just quick overview of kind of the steps that I take when building either a prospective client or individual profile are helpful as you're going about your interactions.